Hello everybody, welcome back to another interesting, almost
Yes.
expert matchup. This is going to be a matchup between a lot of players on Voobly, and it's going to be a 2 versus 2 versus 2 versus 2 on Seize the Hump. So this is going to be very interesting, a lot of different civilizations, a lot of different matchups and that kind of stuff. So let's introduce the players. You will recognize some of these players, I hope. This is going to be Nilpferd. He's the organizer of a lot of tournaments, including the King of the Clash of the Hippo tournament, which I will be casting and be uploading. And that is basically a 6-way free-for-all tournament. And that should be a lot of fun. But otherwise, he's a very, very good player. He's a 2K rated deathmatch and random map player. And he is currently playing as the Berbers. I believe these were random civilizations. His teammate this game is also going to be one of the more well-known casters in the community, T90 Official, playing as the Incas. And I'll put links to both these guys' streams below in the description and perhaps on the top right here with the cards. So he's playing as the Incas. T90 is about an 1800 level rated player. I played tons of games with T90. He's greatly improved in skill level. In blue we have Willis, who is a 1400 level player, playing as the Magyars. And I think they just realized that there's no monument, so we'll see if they'll play this out. I think they wanted to play King of the Hill. In purple we have Spring, a 2K2 level rated player playing as the Turks. He's one of the higher rated players in this game. In teal we have Leander playing as the Japanese. He's about 1700 rated level on Voobly. In orange we have Lord Choldemort playing as the Ethiopians, a 1600 level player on Voobly. We have seen Lord Choldemort play before on this channel. In yellow, we have Drakant playing as the Goths. Drakant is a 2K rated player on Voobly, and he was also played in the Nobody's Free-for-All Brawl, which again, I can link in the description. Very, very good player. He's playing as the Goths. In green, we have Algernon, a 1600 level player playing as the Huns. So these are our teams. The best players in this game are clearly going to be Drakant, Nilpferd, and Spring, the 2K rated players. And then the next two after them, T90 Official at 1800, and Leander at 1800, I believe.
Yes.
17 at 1800 level. So the best team, I believe, is Nilpferd and T90. However, this is going to be a 2-on-2-on-2-on-2. No guarantees for them. And some players were mentioning the map is slightly bugged. There's actually supposed to be a little bit of land here, but it actually... I don't know how much of a difference that makes. I think that's a bit of an advantage for these teams because there's obviously more gold over here. So we'll see how that works out this game. And yeah, Seize the Hump, there's a lot of wood. There's actually a little bit of wood. These small little wood forests, I suppose you can call them. So players will have to migrate to the middle for wood and golden stone because there is no golden stone on the middle island. So it's very middle-centric. And because of that, we should see players going out early on. So that's the map. We can talk a little bit about the civilizations. And some players going up for an early feudal age. We have Spring going up already. Spring is playing as the Turks. The Turks get a gold mining bonus, have some very useful gunpowder, some very unique gunpowder strategies, since their gunpowder is so damn strong. But Turks are usually considered one of the weaker civilizations. They're kind of a niche civilization. They have some unique strategies, but if you try to play a standard game with the Turks, they're usually not that good. So we'll see how they work out. We have Willis playing as the Magyars, which have been recently buffed in patch 5.5. Very strong scouts, very good late game army, paladins, and heavy cavalry archers with lackluster siege. I think that overall they are a good civilization now. I would even put them in top 10 in 1 versus 1. Although this is a 2 versus 2. They have a good late game army too, though. So I like the Magyars. Leander playing as the Japanese. The Japanese are a little bit versatile. They have a good early game economy. Definitely more of an early game centric civilization. I'm not sure if you could build docks here, but if you could build docks here, that would greatly favor the Japanese with their navy. In orange, we have the Ethiopians, one of the strongest 1 versus 1 civilizations here. And they also have a great late game with their siege, although not very strong non-siege units late game. In yellow, we have Drakant playing as the Goths. I think this map can definitely favor Huskarl raids with how open it is. But the Goths are definitely a civ that's a bit slower, going to take some time to boom. And as we mentioned, it's very middle-centric, so this is going to favor the early game very much in the early game civilizations. Algernon playing as the Huns. He will save some wood with his house bonus, but he'll have a good Castle Age army with cavalry archers and a good late game army with paladins. In red, we have Nilpferd playing as the Berbers. The Berbers only hit their stride in Castle Age, when they're able to create cheaper knights and camels. And then T90 playing as the Incas, a very early game centric civilization with a lot of good counter units, but not so great late game with some lackluster siege. I like the Incas because they are a good early game civilization. They're cheaper houses, their houses, extra population, good tower bonuses, strong villagers, that kind of stuff. And that's all of the civilizations for this game. Again, the early game civilization is going to do better, I think. I don't know if this game will make it to the late game, but we'll see. So we have T90 and Nilpferd huddling together for this wood. That way they can protect each other. Nilpferd's going to go up with the barracks already. We're seeing scouts, I assume, out from Spring. There we go. Here's the first few scouts. Even a few spearmen, so he's really serious about doing some damage. Leander looks to be going for a fast castle, so let's see if Spring can do some damage and prevent this fast castle from happening. Stable market going to go up for these for Leander. Unusual that Leander chose not to go for the blacksmith. Usually get the blacksmith for knight upgrades. If you're going to go for that stable. Spring going to take some unnecessary hits here. And let's see what Spring can do with this early game pressure. So a lot of spearmen out for Spring. That's a lot of spearmen. Considering we won't probably see that many scouts come out from Leander. But as far as middle control goes, we have Spring building a ton on the land. Luckily as Turks he does get a gold bonus, so that will help him out. And, oh, that spearman's gonna get gangbanged. Oh my god. Total destruction. So Scout's gonna move around on the left side. The two town centers next to each other, nice protection. So far Spring not being able to find any nice villager kills. On the top side we're gonna have green and yellow versus red and gray. And tower already up for Nilpferd to help protect his ally in this wood line. Because of that, Nilpferd's going to take some stone, but he most likely will go for that strong Berber's Night Rush. And as you can see, Nilpferd going into the next stage. T90 is also going, he's going to go for an Archer Rush, which the Incas get some pretty good Archer line. A little bit of a scuffle here. The Archer's going to come in for T90. Who's going to win this fight? T90 should win this fight. Will he lose his Eagle, though? Yes, he will. And Willis is going to get out of there. Nice fight for Willis. Less scouting information for his opponent. Here we go. Spring gonna move all the way across the other side of the map, attacking Drakon. Drakon wasn't expecting this. And look at how many spearmen Spring has built. Why is he building so many spearmen as the Turks? I don't know. But either way, this is going to be very effective at taking down this watchtower. And there's no way that Drakon's going to be able to win this. Although Drakon's doing the best he can, he's going to try to take down the scouts because they can chase a few villagers down. But actually, Spring is losing a lot here, and oh my god, Drakon actually fended this off. I'm so surprised. I'm really surprised. I thought Spring was going to be able to take down that tower. It goes to show you how weak the spearman is. Don't make too many spearmen like Spring did. Lord Troldemort and Leander getting off pretty scot-free. Didn't take any damage from those scouts, really, and now they're both in the middle. And no one's really threatening them. Spring isn't going to be up to the next age anytime soon. He's building 2 archery ranges now. What about his ally, Willis? Willis is building to the north, so these guys have split, which I don't like that decision very much. I think they should be all together, kind of like how T90 and Nilpferd are. Spring saying this is so dumb. Not sure what is dumb.
Yes.
Making too many spearmen is kind of dumb. But Leander's actually going to build a single knight, and he'll be able to do massive damage with this. Meanwhile, Nilpferd... Oh! Camel raids! Camels in conjunction with archers, and that's really going to put Algernon back. So far, lead in this game to Nilpferd and T90, and Algernon and Leander. The other two teams not looking so good. It's going to be a few villager kills right there, and I bet Spring wishes he had a few of those spearmen stationed at home. But Spring really not looking so good. And Willis, even worse. I don't know what happened to Willis, but his score is very low. Alright, Cavalry Archer is going to clean up the camels of Nilpferd. So we talked about that Hun's Castle Age might with their Cavalry Archers. However, the Berbers are, again, a very good Castle Age civilization. And T90 is going to lose his archers here, so nice defense from Algernon. Trying to keep his team in the game. Drakon's going to go up with the... town center here, but T90's actually scouted that one out as well. There should be enough knights to clean that up. Spring having a really hard time. And Spring is finally up to the next stage. So is Willis. I don't know what Willis did, but he's very late up to the next stage. I didn't see any scouts from him. And with a lot of losses, Algernon is going to get this town center finally up. However, he's significantly behind, and I would be worried for these guys because Nilpferd already has a full boom going. 41 villagers for him, and T90 up at 45 villagers. Rest in peace. I think it's a Twitch issue. So Twitch is having some issues today for whatever reason. Nilpferd was having some issues to be back as well. Alright, and we're back. So no biggie there. Crossbow, Bug, and Arrow coming up for Spring. Let's see how these guys... I mean, they're so far behind in development from Troldemort and Leander. It's kind of ridiculous. However, perhaps Troldemort will have to deal with Drakon because these guys are getting very close to each other. So that could help, potentially help Spring's team. My eyes are on Nilpferd and T90, though. They are really far ahead as far as the boom goes. And Nilpferd can't fight this now, but he can get a few upgrades, and he can definitely mass up those cheaper Berber camels whenever he wants to. 58 villagers for him already. Compare that to the 36 and 29 villagers of Spring and Willis's team. Or 25 and 44 for Algernon and Drakon. It's not even close. T90's got a nice mass of archers and a monk here as well. So they're kind of securing control of the middle. Looks like they're going to pick on Lord Troldemort a little bit. Oh, the monk! No, I thought the monk was going to die there. So they are clearly leading in this game. The question is, do you want to piss off Leander and Lord Troldemort? Because it is a 2 versus 2 versus 2 versus 2. You could, of course, have 6 players against you if you piss off all 6 other players. So you want to be very conscious of that. So yeah, they are slowing down their opponents a bit, but you don't want to be 6 against 2. And let's check how this is going here. Willis is going to build a little bit with his teammate Spring. Spring is finally getting a boom going. Looks like Leander is a little bit too preoccupied with T90 now. He's brought his mangonels over. I saw the spearmen here as well, so they're going to let off the gas a little bit. And over in the back, we had a little bit of a scuffle. Spring trying to do some harassment. Spring, again, a very good player, but he's going to take a huge mangonel shot. Going to eliminate half of his archers. Another huge mangonel shot. That's the rest of the archers. And one more? No. But those guys are not going to get away. Wow, 2 great mangonel shots. Another great mangonel shot. Wow, and another. How much more can you ask for? And then these guys are just working together, but now they're going to attack each other. Great micro battles. And Nilly's going to pick these off. Nilly investing into those castle edge upgrades. Now he's got bloodlines of +2 since we last saw him. Now my question for Nilpferd is, always the question you ask is Berbers. Berbers are really good castle age. They don't get a lot with their Imperial age upgrade. So will Nilpferd go in for an all-in knight and camel push? Or will he go up to the next age? And that's often a question you ask with the Goths as well. Speaking of the Goths, Drakon is going to add a castle in between his 2 town centers that will protect him from any mangonel aggression. And we'll keep our eyes on the Imperial Age for those 2 players. However, Leander's going to be the first player up to the Imperial Age. He's had a pretty much uncontested boom. He's got a lot of villagers out. He's got 66. That's a moderate amount of villagers. But he's got 4 town centers working as well. So that number will go up very quickly. Let's see what army composition he'll go for. It looks like he's investing into fletching, so we'll see archers. T90 is building a castle, the Inca's cheaper castles, in the middle of the base, and I believe T90 is ahead in development from Drakon. Yeah, ahead by maybe 4 or 5 villages, not that much, but a lot more army. And T90 should be up to the next stage soon, so we can see a tread battle potentially. Here's T90's resources, 400 and 400. And let's take a look at Drakon. 0 and 500, so definitely T90 will be up to the next stage first if he wants to. And things are getting heated up on this left side. The battle lines have been drawn. We have castle on the left and castles on the right. Armies are starting to get massed up. Imperial Age will be coming in from all of these players, so they're just building up, and we should have one final clash here on the left side to determine who will be king of the left side. They have Meganos crossbows, and you won't do much with castle here. Only in T90. So I think Drakon's communicating to the other players. He wants a peace treaty between himself and Lord Troldemort. Troldemort's building up a monk Mangonel attack. And also killing the villagers here. So Drakon's saying, Orange, don't attack me. Obviously, T90 and Nilpferd are the top dogs in this game, so we should gang up against them. However, Lord Troldemort's not going to have any of that, and he's going to start killing the villagers of Drakon. Oh, nice Mangonel shot. This is the game of the Mangonel shots right here. One more? Just on 1 HP left. But yeah, I mean, T90's still harassing this team here, so, you know, maybe that'll make Lord Troldemort more prone to listening to Drakon if they kept getting attacked by T90. We could see another huge Mangonel shot. That's just going to be a glancing blow. That's another huge shot. It's the game of the Mangonel shots. Wow. Just a poor direction from T90. Should have went around this way. Let's take a look at the Imperial Age. T90 and Lord Troldemort also going into Imperial Age. So T90 was going to be first in the Imperial Age. And he's also going to go down the Eagle line, it looks like. The Inca's pretty good in early Imperial Age, I must say. They do fall off a little later, but the Eagle Warrior, Slinger, Cameo is going to be a nice counter system that they have. And Spring's still roaming around with his light cabinet archers, trying to do as much damage, basically just onto Troldemort and Leander. And look at this right on it, they completely colonized it. However, on the top side, they will be battling here. T90 is going to take control of all these resources here. There's so many resources here. And Willis hardly has a foothold here. So players just trying to get control over these resources on the island. Right now, the players with the least amount of control are definitely going to be Drakon and Algernon. Algernon has nothing on the bottom left here, completely taken out by Nilpferd. And even Drakon getting raided on his island. This could be the GG for Drakon and Algernon. We have trebuchets coming out from T90, I bet, as well, to take down this castle here. So this could be an early GG for these guys. These knights are +2. These are cheaper knights as well. And Imperial Age coming in for Nilpferd. So the only thing that's going to keep them in this game is going to be this castle, which will help prevent raids in that top side. But the villager numbers dropping for Drakon and Algernon, 62 and 35 for their team. And the Goths really can't do much without an economy. You need an economy as Goths. They're very, very food-centric. Meanwhile, Leander's starting to push out. He looks like a force to be reckoned with. He's got Arbalest already upgraded. And Capdram upgraded as well. So once... So I think T90 is just going to do a little bit of cleanup under Kant, and then it'll be T90 and Nilpferd versus Leander and Troldemort. And hopefully Spring and Willis can just hang back here and just build up a little bit. Perhaps they should focus on the north side while T90 is distracted. It's all about resource control. This top side will be very critical for whoever wins this game. And there we go, tons of upgrades coming in. Oh, another mega shot! Oh, where's the Onager upgrade, though? Oh, and this is nice. So the Eagle Warriors will be very good against Arbalest, not so good against hand cannons, though. All Meso civilizations struggle against gunpowder, just like they did historically. And here we go, here comes the Eagle Warriors. I don't think there's enough hand cannons here, but this is a nice positioning as well. Yeah, not enough hand cannons, but they will be able to get some nice kills here. Especially these guys in the back. If these guys can stay untouched, which it looks like they will, they'll be doing massive damage to these Eagle Warriors. Wow. The power of the hand cannons. Cavalier now done from Nilpferd. He does not get the Paladin upgrade. However, these Cavalier are dirt cheap. 20% off for the Berbers. Halberdier done for Lord Troldemort. They're automatically upgraded as Ethiopians. And some of that strong Ethiopian siege coming out as well. Meanwhile, Drakon and Algernon's base completely in shambles. Almost completely in shambles, that is. They're trying to get away with building here. We'll see if Nilpferd lets this happen. It looks like we're going to see Halberdier versus Eagle Warrior and Cavalier. We need to see something stronger from Lord Troldemar. I don't see any upgrades coming in for him. But sure, might get some cost-efficient trades here, but he needs to stop this ram train. And Halberdier is just not going to do that. The Cavalier are going to come in from the back. Or from the side. And looks like might be GG for these guys as well. So I'm going over to the other players. We have Spring and Willis. Spring and Willis, 96, 75 villages. They need more time to boom. They need more space. But look at... oh, thank you for this, for the host, whoever that was. But Spring and Willis definitely building up. They have a huge army here. Need to get some upgrades on those guys, though. Alright, so Leander really doesn't have much. His population is dropping rapidly. Lord Troldemar's population dropping rapidly. They just haven't been able to build a sufficient army to counter Nilpferd and T90. And somehow Algernon's still in this game. He's gonna get kicked off on this left side. This is all up to Spring and Willis. They still need more time to boom, though. It's 110, 120 villages for Nilpferd and T90. These guys are fully boomed, fully upgraded. The Turks' army is not the strongest. We have Hussar and Knights. And some crossbow. So we're talking about how the Turks were such a niche civ. Oh my god, I forgot about the Turks get an extra 20 HP on their cavalry archers if they research it in the castle. That's a very strong unit. As well, they get all the armor upgrades, too. So that's a very, very strong unit if Spring can switch into that. That's nice. It gives the Turks a little bit added oomph in the late game. What is Willis going to do? I wish Willis could add some maybe paladins into this mix. That would really buff out that combination. We could have a paladin and heavy cavalry archer combination here. Alright, looks like Leander's last stand. He's got a lot of Arbalest left. But Leander's going to call it GG right here. He's down to 67 villagers.
Yes.
And he's getting raided at his home island as well. So not looking good for those guys. Meanwhile, on the top side, we have a little bit of development from Willis. T90 is still taking these resources here. Dracon's going to call it GG as well. In fact, he's going to delete all of his villages before he dies. There he goes. Feels bad, man. So that's going to be it for those players. So let's see if Spring has had enough time. Let's see the power of those Turkish cavalry archers once that extra 20 HP comes in. Unfortunately, these guys are fighting each other, and they need to team up a bit, because that's a lot of Eagle Warriors from T90. T90 is actually missing the unique tech upgrade for the Incas, giving them extra armor. I think he's forgotten about it. And unfortunately, there's Arbalest going into that little pit right there. And they're going to get slaughtered. So Drakon officially defeated, not resigned. That's how you lose in style. And these Eagle Warriors should be sufficient to clean up this army even without their upgrades. Alright, let's see how the Eagle Warriors do. This is a huge fight for Spring. Oh my god, and Spring's gonna get cleaned up. Oh my god. And the train of units from Nilpferd and T9 just gonna keep rolling in. How much army does Spring have left? He's got 65 army left. Where is Willis when you need him? Where are you, Willis? So here's the rest of Spring's army. They will be running out of resources on this right island eventually, though. This right side. Peninsula, I suppose. Alright, so they're going to have to mass up and they have to defeat this army of T90 and Nilpferd. Let's check out Algernon. Algernon is still in this game, despite his teammate being resigned, having virtually no chance of winning it. He's got a huge army of monks. He's got all the time in the world to micro these. He doesn't have anything else to worry about. He doesn't have an economy to manage or anything like that. And this is how he's going to get back his villagers. He's going to convert them back. While Nilpferd runs away. Alright, so here's another big fight. They shouldn't be focusing on Leander. And I think Spring has enough here to slow the advance of Nilpferd. We have some of the siege coming out from T90 though. I don't see any siege from the other players. Here's that huge massive Eagle Warriors coming from T90. I think that Nilpferd and T90, even though if they lose this fight, they have so much more access to resources on this left side that they can replenish their units. And that Spring and Willis probably cannot, since they are out of space. Now it looks like Spring will win this fight for now. However, Castle is coming up, and they are just closing in on Spring and Willis. This Castle's going to try to establish a little bit of space. We have what's left of Leander here in this top side. Just trying to be ignored, but the trebuchets are going to auto-attack, of course. And still no unique tech upgrade for Spring. Spring is new to the expansions. I don't know if he knows that upgrade exists for an extra 20 HP on the cavalry archers. But he should see it in his castle. Meanwhile, on the top side, we have a little bit of Hussar raids from Willis. This is the right idea. T9 is trying to set up trade. You know, there's plenty of gold. Actually, the gold is running out a little bit. There's a lot of stone. You can sell the stone for a while. But it's definitely a smart idea to start trade. And T90 building up some Eagle Warriors to counter out these Hussar raids. Yet another big fight. You can see the armies of Spring just not being able to replenish themselves sufficiently while Nilpferd keeps building. And the Camel Archer, actually excellent unit against Cavalry Archers, gets an attack bonus. So the Camel Archers will shred through the heavy Cavalry Archers. With the Camels with the meat shield in front. And I think we're starting to see the clear winners in this game. Look at the map control from Nilpferd and T90. Up to Nilpferd and T90 to put the finishing blow. They have a lot of these great at raiding units. So they can definitely finish the game out through raiding. Who knows, maybe Algernon will get back in this game. Who knows? Or Leander and Lord Troldemort, both those guys are still in the game. No control over the middle though, and I don't know how they're going to do this with the trash army. Oh, they're going to try to trade for their gold. Okay, that works. Teal and Willis are trying to broker a treaty here. Since they're both at a disadvantage here. Next castle is going to go down from Spring. Mercenaries being researched for Willis. Actually, that's a pretty good option, considering he has no gold access. But doesn't have that many castles. I only see a single castle. So that's not going to go too far. Algernon saying, rest in peace, new trade. I don't know, is Algernon trading with anyone? I can't tell. Oh, perhaps up here? I don't know. That trebuchet is going to get taken out. So the army of Nilpferd and T90 pushing in. Sprig finally going to get that last armor upgrade on the Cavalry Archers. I don't think he's used to doing that on Cavalry Archers since he plays so many Hunts Wars. And the Eagle's starting to raid the economy of Spring. Spring is down to 90 villagers. Nilpferd has also dropped in villagers, but that's because he has a larger army. Algernon's just going to call it GG right there. No control over the middle. Not too much economy here as well. And that's going to be it for Algernon and Durkhan. That leaves us with three teams remaining. Alright, let's see if this is going to be the final battle. We have T90's Eagle Warriors versus the Cavalier and the Heavy Cavalry Archers of Spring. And if they win this fight, that's going to be the end of the game. Castle coming up from Nilpferd. Even if they lose the fight, the castle should get up. And it looks like Spring has enough here. More Eagle Warriors coming in from the side. The Camel Archers will be great against the Heavy Cavalry Archers, though I think I spoke too soon. The Camel Archers are just going to be too strong against the Heavy Cavalry Archers. And then the castle is up as well to help support. And I think that's going to be the end of the game. It's desperation time as Spring starts to make some Turkish skirmishers. Willis is going to bring in the few Hussar that he has, but another castle coming up from Nilpferd to fortify his position. And that's going to be it for Spring's army. Does Spring have any economy to rebuild his army? Not too much. No gold access for him, of course. On the top side, it's more evenly contested, but Spring is going to call it GG right there. Thanks for calling it GG. Spring is going to resign right there. So the only intact team at this point is Leander and Troldemort. Have they traded enough to be able to get back in this game? Probably not. And all the players are going to call it GG right now. Good game to Spring and T90. They definitely played a very good Castle Age, raiding a lot of different players. I thought they would have pissed off Leander, but they were able to defeat him. The combination was very good. I think the late game army of their civilizations could have been better if they had different civilizations. However, this just worked for the early to mid Imperial game, and we didn't see any other player really have a strong economy to be able to contest this army composition. So good game to those guys. If you'd like to see more games, please click on the links that just popped up right here, and I'll see you guys in the next game.